Okay, so, alright, so the focus of this presentation, as I said, is going to focus more on presentation techniques than it is how to actually make this, okay? That's for you to figure out. But I'm going to show you 4 things, only 4 things, and those 4 things are going to help you make some really good presentations, which is ultimately going to get you more marks, okay? That's the purpose of this. Now, as I said, I'm making this in slides, not on an actual slide, just so we're aware of the difference, okay? Right, so let's get on with it. How many times have you been watching a presentation and the presenter starts to read every single word that is shown on the board whilst looking at the screen? They seem to keep going and going and going, and it leads to you feeling like this. Oh, you're still going. Stop! Right? It's time to wake up. I'm going to show you, as I said, 4 things. 4 simple things that you can do to make your presentations better. Now, what are those 4 things? Right? Very simply. Number 1, you first need to ask yourself, what is the purpose or what is the focus of my presentation? That sounds really simple, but you all will forget to do it if you're not careful. Is it to inform? Is it to entertain? Perhaps it's both, okay? Whatever it is, keep on point. Keep it on point. Don't ramble. Get all the information you need and only the information that you need on the screen. Not staying on point and going off on random tangents can always lead to your audience wanting to scream. Trust me, I've sat through many a boring presentation before. But this is something we want to avoid. So, what can we do once we know what our presentation is about? How do we get our point across? Okay, now the second point that I'm going to show you is something I like to call the 4x4 rule. Okay, well, what's that, I hear you asking? Very simply, the 4x4 rule means you are only to have 4 points with 4 words per point. 16 words. Now, this seems a bit daunting, I know, but bear with me. This will all make sense in a moment, okay? I would argue you shouldn't even have points in a presentation, but I know that you guys are going to probably want it when you need to inform people. So if that's the case, keep it small. Now, why? Why should I only use 4 points with 4 words per slide? Well, let me try and break it down for you. First and foremost, yes, I'm aware it is very hard. It's hard to do. When we're first introduced to PowerPoint, we generally are taught to put all of the information up on the screen, okay? But that tends to be very boring, like reading a textbook. I don't want to read all the text, I want to listen to me talking about it. Does that make sense? Once you've done that, it makes it better. It's a bad habit to chuck all of your text up on the screen. And a lot of people will take this through their professional career. I'm sure you've probably seen quite a few already. Alright, but believe it or not, less is more. Less text on the screen is better. A presentation is not a rehash of a textbook or a web page, okay? It's more like a theatre performance or something you would see on TV. Now that sounds daunting, but don't worry, I'll bring some more things up later about that as well. So make sure that this here backs up what you're saying. So stop copying and pasting stuff, right? Don't copy and paste stuff onto here. Remember, coming back to our first point, where's the focus? Me, I'm the focus, not this. I may want to make this the focus, but generally, I'm the one who's giving you the presentation, not this. This doesn't talk at you, it just sits there doing nothing. It's lazy, it doesn't do anything, right? I have to do all the work. So, all of this here, this is just supplementary to what I'm saying. It's there to help back me up, okay? So, what if you do want the screen to be the focus? What if I want you to be looking up here, okay? Well, if that's the case, make sure you know where you want the audience to be looking, right? Wally's right there, by the way, you didn't see. Okay? Now, if we're using a quote, make sure you're using different sizes, right? What's more important? Does it have different boldness, different colors? The different things you want your audience to be looking at, right? Those are the things that I want you to be remembering using those different techniques, okay? Remember, you're the focus right here, not this, okay? If you're going to make people look at this, make sure that they know where they're supposed to be looking or what they're supposed to be remembering, more importantly. Let's move on to point number 3. This is a big one, okay? Images are better than words. It's very simple, okay? When talking, I'm using the words. I'm the one using the words. This doesn't need to use it. I'm the one using them. The screen is perfect for showing an image. I can't show an image. This one can. So use it, okay? But it's not just me saying images are better than words. There is actually a scientific thing. It's called the picture superiority effect. I'm not going to go into the science about it, but basically just means that we as humans, we remember images better than we remember words, right? If you look at something, I'll remember that image of whatever better than the word. And to show you this, we're going to play a little game, okay? I'm going to show you a couple of images on the screen, and you're going to yell out what it relates to, okay? So, once you're all looking at the screen, get ready?
MacBook.
MacBook? What's the company?
Apple.
Ready? Easy, alright? Ready for the second one?
Dragons.
Then Georgia Law and Dragons. Alright, finally? Okay, that's kind of a gimme. That's a bit of an easy one. But as you can see, you all just answered all 3 of those questions and there was no text on the board. It was just 3 images. But as soon as you saw that image, you knew exactly what it was I was referring to. That is the picture superiority effect in motion right there for you. So get rid of the words, put images up there. People will still get it, and in fact they'll probably get it better and remember it after you're finished, okay? Now, the 4th thing, and this is a scary one for a lot of people, okay, is to engage your audience. And you are my audience, okay? Now, what are some things that I can do? 1, make eye contact. As I said, we shouldn't be standing at the board and reading the board. I should be looking at you because you're the one that I'm giving the presentation to, okay? Second thing you can be doing is to be using hand signals. Not signals as such, but just having your hands free. Now, you notice I've got this little clicker in my hand. That's because I don't want to have to keep coming back to my MacBook and leaning down every time I need to click the arrow because I don't want to be like one of those little bird things with the water in it. But essentially, it means that I can talk to you, and not only that, I can point people out, and I can say, what do you think, or what do you think? Or I can keep people engaged with what it is I'm trying to say, okay? Third thing, this is just from a little bit of a visual nicety point. White text with black borders can be read on any single colour. Now, how many of you here have been watching a presentation where the person uses bright green letters on a white background and you can't read a thing that they've put up there, or you struggle? I do it. So as you probably noticed, all of my text has been grey, black, or something that contrasts against the white background, okay? That's just something you need to be aware of when you're making your things. Make sure that if your audience, if you want them to be looking at the board, that they can actually read what it is or see what it is you've put up there. Okay? That's the most important thing. Now I will say, I know some of you, if not all of you, will get nervous before doing a presentation. I get nervous before doing presentations, and I've done a lot of them. Okay? It's natural, it happens to all of us. Now, the one thing you can do to help you get over that is to utilize the speaker notes. Okay, now what are the speaker notes? The speaker notes are basically some notes underneath all of the slides that will allow you to write out your presentation. Okay? Plan out what you're going to say on each slide. Don't just go into it going, I've got to make this. Stop that. Just plan out what you're going to say and read it off the screen. Okay? Much like a script, or an essay, or something that you would read, a book, right? If you're reading the book, you're just going to read it line for line, and then you know what it is you want everyone, what you're going to say and what you want people to see. This again, brings back to our first point, helps you stay on point and not ramble, because you already know what it is you're going to say, okay? That's where it is. I'll show you some more of this at the end, how to use that, okay? So, the final thing, this is kind of ties back into with engaging your audience. Practice, practice, practice. A presentation is one of those things that you can do by yourself in front of the mirror. And I highly recommend, it may sound cliche, do it in front of the mirror and look yourself in the eye. It's weird, but it helps you make eye contact with people when you're doing it for yourself. Believe me, I know, I've done so many of these things. I understand how nervous we can get, but trust me, doing little things like practicing and having it written down makes your life so much easier. Okay? Now, in conclusion, this presentation has contained one video, 20 images, and only 60 words of text on the screen. You can go back and count them. I'm going to make this available for all of you, but there has only been 60 words, including these three. 60 words. It's not a lot, trust me, very hard. Okay? So, in summary, the 4 things, and remember, these are the only things you need to take home with you. Get on with it. Stay on point. Get on with it. Okay? Second thing, 4 by 4. 4 points with 4 words per point. Okay? Second thing, where's the focus? Is it here? Is it me? If it's there, what do I want you to focus on? Keep that in mind. 4th thing, engagement. Remember, you're talking to the audience. Keep them engaged with you. That's the point of the presentation. If you can just remember these 4 things and try and take them into your assessment, I guarantee you, your presentation will be better than when you started, and I guarantee you, you'll get better marks. That's ultimately what I'm trying to help you guys get. Okay? Any questions? Okay.